Hey everybody, welcome back to Morning Talk with Mike. I'm Big Mike, and that is my co-host Paul from England.
Good morning.
Good morning, he says. So,
Well, it is to you. It's good afternoon here.
well, that's true too. So, guys, we got a link up at the top if you want to join us on panel. The subject today that we're starting out with. I know we never end up on the same subject when we're talking in the morning and stuff like that, but it's back to school. All right. Less than 2 weeks away. Oklahoma kids are going back to school. And the big thing, I'm seeing a lot of videos and shorts and stuff like that on the YouTubes, on Facebook, is the cost of school supplies. Guys, it has gone up over the last 3 years, 24%. Okay?
Is that all?
24%. Now, I will tell you, I remember going to school as a young man, and my mom would go down
Liar.
to the five and dime, the Ben Franklin. If you're younger, you probably don't know what a five and dime is or what Ben Franklin was. And she would get each one of us kids a big, thick Red Man Indian notepad for school and two gigantic, those red pencils. I remember that. All right. We didn't have backpacks. We had to carry our books under our arm back and forth to school.
Didn't have books when you were a kid.
Yeah, we had everything we had was books. There was no online, nothing. And there you are. I'm going to school. And
Slate.
because I had to come home at certain years, especially like sixth grade, you had reading to do, you had all that stuff to do. I would go to school and I would have a folded up pillowcase that I would take, put all my books in there and hold on to it and walk home. And it was about 2 miles to our house, somewhere in there from the school. And we walked back and forth because my mom wasn't going to pay for the school bus, get on the bus and stuff like that. There was some kind of fee. I'm not really sure what it was, but parents pay all year round for kids to go to school. It's just not like I'm buying school supplies and we're done. There's clothes, okay, there's shoes, there's whatever. If you're a girl, it's probably more because when you get up in around sixth grade, junior high school, of course, there's makeup and all this other stuff. Boys don't give a crap as long as they're, going to school and they can giggle and over the girls and shit like that. Sorry about that. But school supplies have basically gone up since I went to school I started school in 1966. I started as a
Jesus, you're ancient.
as a 5-year-old. No, as a 6-year-old. I was 6, so it was 67. So in 67, in first grade, life was easy. My mom didn't have any money. She was one of those parents that, hey, whatever she could buy, you go to school with it. And if you didn't have it, the teacher would have, because all the kids bring stuff. And she'd say, here you go, Michael. Here's a pencil, and write a little note that I owe her a nickel. Whatever. Give it to my mom. Of course, my mom is like going, up yours. I ain't even going to give you a nickel. I don't have a nickel. But my mom had 7 kids going to school, and she was working her ass off. I went to Lincoln Elementary School. And my first year of school, kindergarten, so it was 66. I was up at um, Rockford, Illinois, and I went to kindergarten in Rockford, Illinois. Then we all
Have you
moved
seen
to
that?
Arizona.
Have
What's
you
that?
seen that?
What?
Ed, you were starting school and Ed Kirkpatrick was just graduating.
But we haven't even said hello to people. I'm sorry. I got off on it. I remember where I went. Yeah, Ed Kirkpatrick in 67, I was graduating high school. Yeah. That means you're old. And I'm 64.
You're
But
ancient.
we want to say ABCM channel, hello. Shane Raza, Marilyn, hello. Minnie, welcome in, Minnie. Let me get this thing to roll. Pamela E., thanks for coming in. And there's Sir Paul Honeyman. Burns Pacquiao, thank you for sharing us out. Girly Sienna, Mara Garcia, Charmaine, Abby G., Therese TV, RD Vlogs, welcome to come in. Charam, thank you for coming in. Evelyn Newman, hello, over in New Mexico. Thank you for coming in. Rebecca Touched by Yarn, welcome. Rainy Ridge, Troy Sutton, there's Mike Birch. Ray Castile's in here. Barbara Castile's in here. Wendy at Hardneck Farms, good morning to you. I'm going to get Ed Kirkpatrick. There he is. The storyteller's here.
That's a nice name. Mother Earth Garden Club.
John Goes Outdoors is here. Elisa, hello. There it is. Edberg, 67. I was graduating high school. Yeah. I think my mom graduated in 58 from Mesa High School. Yeah, 58, because my oldest sister was born in 59. Then I had another sister born in 60, and then I was born in 61. Then I have another sister that was born in 63.
Was your dad Army as well?
Another sister born in 65 or 66. And I have another sister born in 69. She's the same age as Terry. Yeah, we got a lot. Hey, Mother Earth Garden Club's here from Minnesota.
Was your dad in the forces as well?
Actually, my dad served in Vietnam as an aide, but then he only served a year, and he came back home or something like that. My sister Debbie's dad, he served in the Marine Corps, and I don't know about because we have 5 dads in our family, 7 kids and 5 dads. And then my mom was only married twice. So you can fill in the blank. Yeah. But she took care of all of us. She worked her ass off. Let's see.
That's what you call a good mum that's had a good time.
Yeah. Out and about with Dave and Doozy. Welcome in.
Hey, Dave.
All right. And our Life Off Grid. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, school supplies. The average cost of school supplies per year for parents is around $875 a year. Okay. You're saying, whoa. I don't spend that much. But think about it. Okay. This figure includes expenses for elementary and high school students, and it covers a range of items from basic supplies to clothing to electronics and school activities, according to the National Retail Federation survey. So if you have kids, Yeah, when they're in first and second, third, whatever grade, you can go to the Walmart and pick up stuff. But when they start noticing and when kids start making fun of and stuff like that, the taste in clothing changes. Okay. And for girls, it changes as the wind blows. So if you actually totaled up everything you spend on one child, that's probably a good number for a school year, $875. Now, there are schools that make you pay for extracurricular activities, meaning you're on the baseball team, you're on the football team, you're on the basketball team, you're in dance, you're in whatever it is, okay, science club, chess club, whatever. Trust me, you're giving your kid money for certain things, to include some schools charge for school trips. Okay. Even though you pay your taxes, you say, I pay my taxes, and there's two taxes for us here. You have your income, your tax to the state. Part of it goes to the school, and you have your property tax, and you're taxed twice for the school, twice for emergency services and fire department and stuff like that. So a lot of parents are complaining that the school list that they're getting is excessive. Okay. And in an age where everybody, well, I know a lot of kids have computers at their desk, or they don't issue out books, so they charge you for the download for your school books to your computer or your iMac or whatever the kid's got. So the cost goes up and up and up. So basic school supplies. They took an average list, a list of 20 basic school supplies, crayons, glue, sticks, notebooks, etc., could cost around $106.73. Now, when they talk about electronics, they're talking about to include apps that your kid needs, whatever, download of books, all the books. I know a lot of colleges, you pay, you go to the bookstore, you pay for all the things, you get codes for all your downloads, you download the book and it's on your computer. Okay. And oh, by the way, if you didn't know, kind of like Microsoft does now, where you only rent Windows, okay? And you have a cost. You can get a yearly subscription for your Windows. You can get a 3-year subscription, blah, blah, blah. And it's cheaper the more years you add on. The same thing goes for books in college. All right. That book is no good on your computer after a year. And if you have to have that book for the following year, you have to pay another fee to activate that with the activation code. They get you coming and going, Paul. I don't know what you guys do over in England for school. I know you guys pay school tax with all your taxes and stuff like that, I'm sure, because school's not free. And everybody in the States pays in their taxes, whether you got kids in school or not. Everybody pays it.
We don't pay through taxes. We pay through. Now, I'm having to remember a long time ago because my daughter's like coming up 30.
Yeah.
But we had to pay every term. Wasn't paid by the year. It was paid by the term.
Really?
Yeah, we paid by the term, but every trip that the school did, we had to pay for that.
Yeah.
And then we found out that some of them who were like myself didn't have jobs at the time. even though I was having to pay full, they were getting it for free. So we went down and we raised such a stink that anybody that was getting a free was not allowed to go. It wasn't about the
Not allowed to
kids.
go
It was about the
on the
principal.
trips.
No, if they couldn't afford to go, they were not allowed to go.
Oh, okay.
It was trips to Paris.
Yeah.
Now, why should people that are struggling have to pay for somebody else's kids?
Yeah.
So, because of that, there was a big stink up with the local Department of Education, and they ended up they says, look, if the school can come up with so much, so the whole class can go, then we'll come up with the rest.
Yeah.
So the parents got together at one of the PTA meetings and says, look, we don't want the kids to suffer. None of us ever wanted that. We just didn't see why we should be paying for someone's kids when their parents weren't bothered.
Yeah.
Because we have, just like America, we've got deadbeats.
Sure.
They want to take everything they can and not have to
They
pay for
grow
nothing.
all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Kentucky living bluegrass. I mean, there's a deadbeat if ever I saw one.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say hello to Grilling Addiction with Nick, Thunderstick Homestead, Bowen. Let's see. Oh, there's Karen Breast. Welcome. And O'Rourke's Littlefield's here.
Yep.
Crystal's Adventure. Welcome in. Mary Yahoo! Welcome. Husky Edna's here from Down Under. Welcome in, my friend.
He's sitting in the comments having digs at us, so I'll get the bugger back.
Kentucky Bluegrass Living. Hello, hello. Daisy. Hello. Welcome in. I was in her live this morning. And if you don't know these people, guys, you need to get to know them. They're great people. They're great supporters. And absolutely love them.
Now, when he says you need to get to know them people, if you have the time, they would appreciate it.
Yeah.
If, like me, you don't have the time because you've got too much going on, I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's just tough shit.
Oh, man. So, factors affecting cost. Grade level, okay. Yep. Elementary students typically require fewer supplies than older students. Specific school requirements. Some schools have specific supply lists for uniform requirements that can increase the cost. Do you guys have to wear a uniform to school? A certain outfit? Everybody wears the same? In some schools,
it used to be
schools, Catholic schools, you had to.
Our system, everybody in the school used to have to wear the same uniform. Now they've changed it.
Oh, have they?
When you get to senior school, depending on what year you are, you're given a colour. Everything else is the same, except now they're using sweatshirts instead of jumpers, and each one has to have a certain colour. So that because the school buses were getting so many different people causing trouble on the bus. So they put cameras up, and they couldn't find out. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Kevin.
Hey.
So they couldn't
I was about to give up.
You've never given up. Look at that poor fella sitting there.
I do know that in the States, a lot of the school districts have cameras in their buses. Because kids have got out of hand. Now, I will tell you that when I got out of the service the first time, I trained on an Army program called Troops to Teachers. And I went and taught at a high school. I taught one semester. I turned my keys in. I taught the 11th grade, American history. And I turned my keys in. They said, "Oh, did you find these?" I said, "No, those are the keys to my classroom. I've already loaded up my truck." I said, "I will never teach another student the rest of my life." And they go, "But why?" I said, "If I had a gun in the classroom, there'd be some dead students. I'm sorry, because these kids don't respect crap."
Yeah.
Okay. They're so out of control. And I taught in a city of 275,000 people. And I'm going to tell you something. Parents, I have no clue. And this was in 86 or 85. And I couldn't imagine what the kids are today. I couldn't imagine a teacher in one of the inner cities what they have to go through. Because these kids nowadays, they don't give a flip. Okay? And then when you call their parents in, "No, you're lying. My kid would never do that." I said, "You're the kids is the worst." Now they got cameras in the schools.
Yeah.
Okay? Because teachers are getting assaulted in the classroom. And I mean, come on. It is getting so out of hand. And it's a fashion show. Okay.
You know why it's getting out of hand? You know why it got out of hand?
Why?
Because your government, like our government, took out corporal punishment.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
They need to bring
Whip
it
their
back.
butts.
I got caned.
Oh man, I got my ass handed to me.
Too.
I got caned. I got slippered. I got chalk dusters bounced off my head.
They had to deal with my mother first before they had the right to whip me. She had that written down. If she's going to get a spanking, you got to talk to me first so I know what's going on. And sometimes she would defend me if I had been bullied or something like that. Because back when I was in school, there was no such thing as a bully. You know, just somebody was just picking on you a little bit.
Yeah.
But they had to deal with my mother first. And I guarantee you, you didn't want to do that. I did get a whipping one time because I bit a girl's finger because she put it up in my face.
Yeah.
And I bit it. I told her, I said, "You do that again, I'm going to bite it."
Well,
And
when
she
I
did,
went
and
to
I bit
school,
it.
the Mesa public school systems in Arizona, your parent had to go there when you registered, and they had to sign the basic permission slip, or they would say,
Agreement.
there's the Queen of Peace Catholic school you can take them to, and you can pay for it back then, or there's this other private school and you can pay them, and it's something like $17,000 a year. My mom goes, "Whoop the shit out of him."
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. I didn't get a paddling until I was in middle school, which in Arizona at the time was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. That was your junior high school years. And my principal was a frail looking man. And people say, "Oh man, don't." All of a sudden he got a vice principal in my first year there. This dude had forearms like a tree. Okay. And come to find out, he played baseball all his life. He played AAA ball. He became an educator, became a vice principal. And let me tell you something. Bertha, it was about this long, about that wide. It covered the full spectrum of your ass. Okay. And it had holes drilled in it for to stop the wind reduction. And I tell you what, when that man put that paddle to my bony ass, my hips hit the desk and a little bit of pee came out. Because, I mean, he whooped it to the core. He hit it so hard, my prostate just lost everything. Just, and I just peed my pants. I said, and all of a sudden I couldn't feel my legs. And he goes, be back here at lunch tomorrow for your second one. I was so scared when I walked in there. I was this like sheet white, and he goes, I'll take it easy on you. Don't worry about it. You only got this last one. And I'm going to tell you something. My ass did not recover from the day before, because when he did it, it felt like my hips split apart. That's probably why I got 2 artificial hips. But he hit that thing so
There
dang
you
hard.
go.
I moved the desk. And I said, I thought you, I'm rubbing back there. I said, I thought you were going to take it easy. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. Next time.
Oh, Lord. And that made you toe the line a little bit better, didn't it?
I'll tell you what, until I got in a fight in the cafeteria with this guy, a friend of mine, we disagreed about something, and he threw something at me, and I came over the desk, and next thing I know, we're being hauled to detention, and the principal, I can't remember his name, at Powell Junior High School, but he came in there, he goes, I'll see both of you tomorrow at lunch. Me, I wanted to cry because I knew what was coming. But man, I'm going to tell you something. When they took that out of the schools, yeah. Well, here's the deal. My boys went to a place called Lakeway High School. And when you turn 17 in high school, the school does not mess with you anymore, right? Before, all the teachers had me on speed dial. Hey, Mike, yeah, Kevin's screwing up, Mike's screwing up, blah, blah, blah. Or did you sign this? I didn't sign nothing. Okay. 17 years old in the state of Missouri. Okay. They just called the sheriff's department. Come get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they process you. Dad, I'm in jail. I thought you was in school. He goes, no. He goes, the sheriffs came and got me. I'm down at county jail. Can you bail me out? And I said, you know the rule, buddy. I'm smiling on the other end of the phone. Dad don't pay no bail. I said, have a good time. He goes, I got to stay in here 3 days. I said, tighten up, bud. Tighten up. And that's what they do now. They don't mess with you. They just call the sheriff's department and you get cuffed and stuffed. I think every state should have that.
Well, our youngest got in trouble when he was about 16 in school. Big fight.
I blame his mother.
And they called the law, and we had to go down and talk to a probation officer. And the probation officer had the right to decide what his punishment would be. And like when I told him, I said, son, it is outside of my hands. You dug your hole. Now you will take your punishment. But we go over there and they say, well, you've got to do, I don't know how many, it wasn't very many weeks at the Boys and Girls Club. And you do whatever they tell you to do. So they put him to sweeping and picking up trash. Well, we go to pick him up the first day. I expected, he said, man, those girls love me. I got them giving me phone numbers. What? They're all too young, but they're giving me phone numbers. It did no good for him to have to sweep and pick up trash. He got in trouble at home.
Every time we moved, Dad had to go in. Not Mum. Dad had to go in and sign the consensus saying that if we got into trouble, we could be whipped, we could be beaten, we could be bloody well thrown. And he did that every time. And he turned around and says, now I'm telling you this. If my kids misbehave, I expect them to be disciplined. If I find out you've disciplined my kid for somebody else, you could expect to be disciplined.
Yeah.
We were told we would get the same punishment at home. What we got at school, we would get the same at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got in a fight before. My sisters were riding the school bus going to high school, and somebody was messing with one of my sisters. Something happened. I don't know. And I always got on my bike and I rode to school every day. I didn't like that confined space on the bus because I knew I'd punch somebody. And something happened, and I got on the school bus.
He's my big brother.
My sister pointed him out, and I just walked up to the guy, and he goes, "Hey, what's up, Mike?" And bam, I just started beating on him. And school bus guy stopped the school bus. He grabbed me by the collar, flung me to the front of the bus. I landed, hit my head on the front of the bus, and he kicked me off the bus. Then he went back there for the other guy. So there we are in the middle of the route to school. And, we're guys. I said, don't mess with my sister again. No problem, man. No problem, man. So then we walked to school. We had conversation, like guys do. We bumped chests and everything was good, right? Now, my sisters, I learned this from my sisters. Women can hate for life. Oh, it's an easy task. Easy task. Okay. They're still not talking to people they disliked back in high school. But
yes, that's true. That's very true.
I'm telling you, hey, and somebody mentioned this guy that a school teacher out of Texas that murdered the parents on that hiking trail in Arkansas. They did catch him. They did catch him. He is in custody, and he's in the great state of Arkansas.
He's got 2 death penalty charges.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think I read something he had run-ins with the law somewhere else too.
He was a teacher in Texas.
Yeah.
And he showed favoritism towards some little girls. And he would keep the little girls in at recess and say, what kind of candy do you like? And give them candy. So some of the other kids complained he's showing favoritism and it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
So the school district forced him to resign. He got a job in Oklahoma somewhere. He taught somewhere in Oklahoma. And then he came from Oklahoma to Arkansas. There's a trail to be followed with that dude.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Keeping little girls in. He told one girl that this is why he got reported. A boy heard him say to one girl, "If I wasn't your teacher, I wish I could marry you." Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail. Oh, he's going to get more than that in Arkansas.
He's good. That's right. But it'll take 12 years. It'll take at least 12. They usually sit there 12 years on death row.
Why is that? Why should it
appeals?
Take
appeals.
That long?
Appeals, retrials.
That should be gone.
They jack the system.
If you're in the military, okay, and you get court-martialed, your case goes from your court-martial straight to the military court of appeals. They look at it and they go, looks good.
Yeah.
And they send it back down. You go to prison. You're done. It ain't like in the civilian, well, here's my 14th time I'm going to appeal this. Yeah. I mean, that's wrong. Now, I will grant you that there probably has been a lot of people gone to prison that didn't do the crime. And now that of course, years ago, they started the DNA testing and stuff like that, finding, oh, shoot, we got the wrong guy. Okay. And people lie on the stand if you didn't know. Okay?
Really?
You may not know that. You probably are a good person and you think people go to court and they tell the truth because they're afeared of going to jail for perjury. But guess what? People lie. And a lot of people has gone to prison and a lot of people have been proven innocent through DNA testing.
Correct.
Wasn't even there.
And they get millions of dollars when they get out too. They get settlements to make up for it.
Or they're so freaking old, they gonna get out and they're so happy they're out, they die. Some guy, he got out 3 days later, he just had a heart attack and died. So, but he was in jail for 40 years.
Holy cow.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I truly believe that if you get caught with DNA, you get one appeal. If they can't prove nothing on the appeal, it's time to go.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. But our tax money keeps them alive and keeps feeding them and doctoring them.
The federal
They
government
should send Jamie in there to feed them.
That's right. I'll make it short and sweet.
Lifted the death penalty for.
I mean, you look how skinny Kevin is.
Yeah.
That man don't get a good taste.
He gets crust. He gets pizza crust.
That's right.
He'll get the crust on a bloody loaf of bread, and Jamie will sit there and eat the rest.
Mike, on the teaching, my sister tried to substitute teach and she quit. She was crying and she quit. She changed her major.
Yeah.
And I offered to go sit in the classroom with her and she wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
But when talking about when we were little and the cost of things and not liking people for your lifetime, in the first grade, milk was 3 cents. Okay. And I got to buy the 4-cent chocolate milk.
Ooh.
Just for mama to keep me in school because they almost held me back. I missed so much school because I was still a baby. I just wanted my mama. I was the baby of the family. Well, we're standing in line to get the milk and I drop a penny. And this girl named Nancy, I won't say her last name, Nancy.
That bitch.
Picked up my penny.
Typical woman. Never forget.
I said, that's my penny. She goes, it was on the floor. I said, I just dropped it. She turned her back to me and I'm standing there crying. And the lady goes, what's wrong? I said, I wanted chocolate milk and she stole my penny. And she said, well, you bring me an extra penny tomorrow. And she gave me my chocolate milk. But I never forgot it. I never forgot it. And when she pooped her britches in class, I laughed out loud.
See?
Well, I was on the school lunch program along with all 6 of my sisters. And we got it for free. Taxpayers paid for it. Blah, blah, blah. Because we fell into, you're not just poor, you're fucking, you're dirt poor.
Laughing Terry. Oh,
Okay.
she's not there, is she?
She's not.
I saw her delicious dinner she ate without
south of the tracks, dirt poor. And a friend of mine goes, how come you never pay? Do you have an account? I said, yeah, we have an account. Okay. And they go, oh. So he goes home and says, hey, Mom, you can make an account. So she calls the school. She goes, no, there's no such thing as an account or anything like that. So that's when they found, oh, you're poor. Ooh, you're poor. You can't even afford milk. And you couldn't have the chocolate milk. You had to drink the white milk. Okay, because you get what you get. And I told my boys this when they went to school. And all of a sudden the school calls and they said, hey, it's about 2 weeks before school. You have a lunch bill you need to settle. And they go, lunch bill? I said, I pay for it because I can pay that online. And every month I put whatever they say at the beginning of the school year, every month it costs this much for your 2 boys to go to school for the lunch. Oh, no, they're coming up and getting seconds. I said, what? I said, well, what's my bill? And why haven't you told me sooner? Oh, I don't know, but blah, blah, blah. So I owed a double lunch for the entire school year.
Oh, my gosh.
I had them boys shoveling horse poop.
Oh, I would too.
Up in the stall. I didn't let them off the farm the whole summer. They paid me back. But, things cost money. And I understand, when I went to junior high school, they had the cafeteria. We were on the school lunch program. That's where you had to eat. Kids with money, they had these things kind of like, it's a big, long, like 6 windows. And they have these metal railings like you're getting ready to buy a ticket for some event. And they'd roll up the things and they'd have a sign up there, pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, blah, blah, blah. And you get in the line that whatever you want, and then you just pay for it. And I just sat there and I'm going, man, I really want some pizza. Because the only pizza I had was homemade, made in a cast iron skillet, and you just put the dough in there and you just throw the kitchen sink in there and they make pizza. And it was always burnt on the bottom. These guys are coming out with this big old piece of pepperoni pizza and stuff like that. Yeah. I hated school. But
I take it the milk was for infant school, or as you call it, junior.
Yeah.
We didn't get the choice of white or chocolate. It was always white. And everybody, for the first 3 years,
hear you whisper.
We got knocked off. We got to run.
All right.
We're having an adventure. We're going to Hot Springs today and taking Charlene. She's never been down there.
Really?
So we're showing her all of the special stuff about Hot Springs today.
Okay.
Bye. We'll see y'all later.
Love y'all.
Have a good day. Bye.
Talking about special stuff. Take care.
So,
I don't know how to get off.
You don't know how to get off?
Orange square at the bottom.
Like, what the hell? I don't know how to get off.
If you don't know how to get off at your age, you're in trouble. Yeah, but we only had the white, but we always had small bottles.
Yeah.
And everybody in the classroom got one because we didn't pay for that. That was paid by the school.
We had the little square cartons, and you had to peel it open and then pull the drinking thing open, and you had to drink it there. I always ripped them, and I had milk everywhere. So here's something interesting. And we did talk about beyond basic supplies, parents spend money on clothing, shoes, electronics, and extracurricular activities. Now, if you have a kid going to college, that's a horse of a different color. Okay.
Yep.
And how much you pay for college dictates on how much your kid actually put the work in during high school, as far as scholarships and things like that from the schools. Okay. And of course, depending on what kind of school that your kid actually goes to, right? So college students, families with college students tend to spend significantly more, with averages reaching $1,367, which doesn't factor in books or book downloads. Okay. Now, if you got to pay tuition, that's separate from this, but this is going to college and your, clothing, computers, books, all the stuff that you got to pay out of your pocket that maybe your scholarships didn't pay for. Okay. Or maybe they did, who knows? But you're paying that out of your pocket. Now, the total supply spending for 2024-25 for that parents are spending out from high school down to kindergarten came to about roughly $39.5 billion parents spent on their children to go to school. Okay. That's a lot of money. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have to realize, okay, if that is the case, divide, if they had, I don't have the number of how many kids are actually enrolled across the United States. Okay. that are enrolled in school divided into that $39 billion. Still a lot of money. Manufacturing costs for key back to school items have increased an average of 24% over the last 5 years. So over the last 5 years, it's gone up 25 or 24%. Now, one of the things that parents are starting to do, and I know that Kiowa school districts, they'll allow you to do this, is can I shop online and have my back to school order shipped to my local school? Yes. You can shop on Amazon or other online stores, including back to school supplies, to the address of your school. However, it is best, remember this, it is best to check with the school first to confirm their delivery policies and whether they accept packages from outside sources like Amazon. Now, I will tell you that sometimes, depending on how the supplies are delivered, FedEx, UPS, they have a FedEx address or an Amazon address that could differ from the actual, hey, the buildings, whatever. But once you do that, you need to contact your school and say, hey, I've just had a delivery for my kids shipped to your school. Now, when you're in the younger years, I will tell you, well, let's start with the Kiowa High School. This is what my granddaughter, Mackenzie, has to bring to school on the very first day. A reusable water bottle, okay? I'm not talking about one of these. It's the aluminum bottles with a top on it or a plastic bottle, but it has to be reusable because what the school did, all the drinking fountains, during COVID, they spent their money on those bottle fillers, okay, with clean water or filtered water or whatever, and you just put your bottle in there, you hit the button and you fill it up, and then you can close it and you can take it to your classroom. So, because there are some kids that drink out of the drinking fountain and they put their mouth right on the drinking fountain, okay? They don't have enough skills
to story about that.
And put your mouth down there like we did, back in the day. And you always pointed out the kid that, French kissed the water thing or whatever. She has to have a pack of number 2 pencils. She has to bring in a blue or black pens. That means a pack of them. 4 single or 1 5-subject notebook. She has to have 4 6-pocket folders. She has to have 1 set of highlighters, 4 to 5 different colors, 2 boxes of facial tissues, and 3-inch binder for algebra. That's her shopping list. Okay? That's it. What she's going to spend there is a fraction of the cost of a high school person and the clothes that you're going to buy those kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clothes are clothes. And they're not shopping at the Walmart, trust me. Okay? Now, a guy, you could put a pair of blue jeans on there, but here in Oklahoma, it better have the Wrangler brand on the back. Okay, for most boys. Pair of boots. If you ever bought a pair of boots, nowadays they're upwards of $150, $200 for a pair of boots, and they sell a lot of cowboy boots here in Oklahoma. Hats. A good branded hat is about $29 to $30 something a piece. You can't wear the same hat every day. You know what I mean? And then when you get in the classroom, you got to take your hat off anyway. So then I have a 4th grader. Okay. I have a 4th grader, and Their list is a little bit longer. Okay.
I'm going to hit on something before you carry on.
Yeah.
You were saying about the jeans. Over here, the school kids had to wear black pants. Now, I remember my old man turning around and telling him he had to go in because I got caned for wearing black jeans.
Yeah.
My old man went down. He says, I warned you. If you hit my son for something he didn't do, I would hit you. Now you have just caned my son for wearing the trousers that I personally bought him. He says, but black jeans are not allowed. He says, my son goes through trousers like you. Wipe your nose. Do you use a hanky 4 days a week? Because he can't keep a pair of trousers on him without using the knees. So he will wear jeans. If you hit him again, I will put you through the window.
Yeah.
So I went out all big as you like. I'm wearing my jeans. And my dad turned around and he just banged across the back of my head. Pack it in. You're not showing off.
Yeah. Hello, Lynn. Welcome in. Ooh, that rhymed.
Yeah, Jolly Hogger's come in. Rice Lewis has come in. Cutie's come in. Lacey.
I'm trying to catch up on this. I'm looking. Shiloh Acres. Yep. Lacey P. Lacey P. Summers is here.
Yeah, I know. That's Cutie.
Yep. She is a beauty. There's CT. Hunt and Holler's here. K&K Traveling. Welcome in, brother. Curtis. Jolly Huggers.
We never got paddled.
Who didn't?
We didn't. When we had corporal punishment, it was the cane. And
Wow.
You know what the cane is?
Yeah, I know what a cane is.
Yeah, it's literally like a 4-foot walking stick.
Yeah. Now, I have been whooped with a switch before. And that's just
No, we don't, Lazy.
That
we
was
don't
a
need a
branch off
glasses
of
check.
a tree.
Mike likes to go off on a tangent.
I do. What are y'all talking about now?
Lacey says, oh gosh, you guys need your glasses checked. I've already said hello to her about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, they are getting ridiculous. I agree. So here's my 4th grader, my grandson. 4 pocket folders, 2 packs of pencils or mechanical pencils with extra leads, 2 red pens, and you know what a red pen's for. That's for the teacher to mark up your paper. 1 5-subject notebook, 1 large eraser, 2 glue sticks, 1 container of glue, colored pencils, highlighters, 3 different colors, scissors, markers, and for girls, 1 large box of Kleenex, but for boys, 1 large container of Clorox wipes. That's because boys are nasty. Okay? Boys are nasty and girls are not. I had 6 sisters. That statement is a lie. Okay? That is a lie. If growing up, if you had 6 sisters, okay, what are you pointing to?
Philip Ryder. I said hello 20 minutes ago. He's just said hello to you again.
Yeah, I thought I said hello to Philip earlier. I've seen him. There he is, Philip W. Ryder.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Amy, we all have cooties. We get them from the girls.
No, but I want to tell you something. I thought, well, I will tell you that I learned the basics of girls living with 6 sisters. Okay? I used to spend a week couch surfing over at friend's house because I have 6 sisters, and at one time they were all synced up. And if you know what I'm talking about, we'll leave it at that. And nobody wants to be in a house full of a bunch of hate, a bunch of evil going on. So I'd couch surf to get the heck out of there.
6 girls with PMS all at the same time.
Yeah, but so the girls have to bring Kleenexes and the boys have to bring Clorox wipes. And please, it says at the bottom, please label all items with your children's name. So now you have to buy stickers or you write the kid's name on whatever you got. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't understand why so many pencils when they use Chromebook. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Now I will tell you that when they legalized marijuana for recreational purposes in the state of Colorado, when we lived there, they removed our school tax. And kids didn't have to bring supplies to school because the amount of money that the state was sending down to the schools, because the state tax on marijuana went directly to schools. Okay. Teachers got big pay raises. New schools were being built. They couldn't figure out what to do with the rest of the money. They put laptops in every kid's hands. They automated all the schools. If you had a kid in school, they were paying for internet services at the home. When COVID came around, every kid had internet at their houses. Public schools in the state of Colorado paid for it. I mean, all kinds of stuff going on. And other states were looking at this. Okay, the county tax on marijuana for Pueblo County went to road, bridges, and infrastructure. Guys, they were tearing up roads that I couldn't believe. They tore up a perfectly good road. And they tore it up so they could put sidewalks going nowhere. Okay, if you lived on a gravel road within the county, they paved your road, which, hey, I appreciate that, right? And I don't know what they're doing now because, well, actually, I know they built a 300-acre sports complex that costs millions upon millions of dollars for recreational purposes for the community.
Yeah.
Big aquatics pool, big baseball fields, soccer fields, tennis courts, basketball courts, you name it. They built everything in this gigantic complex. And they continue to make improvements so people can smoke the wacky weed and pay that exorbitant amount of tax in there. And Oklahoma is looking at it again.
It's better in cookies.
The problem with the last one was that the state would tax the part of the marijuana tax on recreational marijuana, and then your county would do the same thing. And they thought the money was going into the general fund. Well, people don't trust that. Okay. They can say we got a 0.5-cent sales tax on whatever, and they said we're going to do this, and it never comes to fruition. But Colorado has set the standard for what a great public school system is. Okay, even though I can't live there because they're a bunch of tree huggers, but I love Colorado. I love the school systems. Okay. Cameras in every classroom, on and on and on. My oldest boy went to school there in elementary school. And I'm going to tell you something. You might have your views, but if you look at it, the amount of money, what could a state do with 600, $700 million extra in tax dollars? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So if my kid was educated off pot tax, I don't care. Okay. But it is, they set the bar. If Colorado sets the bar, still
I tell you what, if they have got allowing marijuana, Mary Jane or whatever you want to call it, to be smoked, that's wrong. It should go in the brownies.
Should go into brownies. Well, now you got two problems. Your heart, you're gaining weight, and well, you're still high.
No, put it in the brownies for dinner, and then do the PE straight after dinner.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Whether you have a kid in school or not, if you look at the breakdown of your taxes for your state, and you look at your property tax and the breakdown of that, your school is still getting money from those two different type of taxes. Now, and whether you have kids in school or not, I will tell you that in Arizona, when we moved to Fort Huachuca, my sister, Jenny, called me up and said, hey, you don't have no kids in school, do you? I said, well, yeah, we do. We got two going to school. Brittany was going to school, and my granddaughter's mom, she moved with us, had the baby in Arizona, still went to school. I said, if you come with us, you're going to graduate high school, no ifs, ands, or buts. So, yeah, we did. She goes, oh, because Arizona, you have a choice. And the choice is which school district you want your taxes to go to. We lived all the way down in Sierra Vista. She lived all the way outside of Phoenix, Mesa, in that area, in Higley School District. And I could do my taxes and say, hey, I want my school taxes to go to Higley Public Schools, even though I'm not even close to them. They have the choice. It's all part of the school choice. And you can have your tax dollars go to whatever school district your kids are in, your grandkids are in, or whatever. Mostly if you have grandkids, you still live in the state and you say, okay, I want my money to go over there. That's what Arizona does. And I think it's a great, great program. School choice.
I chose to go to school when I wanted. My dad wasn't too keen on my choices.
Yeah, money going to the schools instead of the cartel. Yeah, agree. What'd you say? Hardship on the teachers to buy out their own pocket. Yeah, I mean, teachers do not, and most school districts do not make a great living. Okay. Nope. Teachers who buy stuff out of their own pocket, bless you, for doing stuff like that.
I didn't sneeze.
I think that we as a nation, here's just my thought. Get rid of the Board of Education at the federal level. All that money you're spending on all those people making $100,000 paychecks a year, send that down to the states. Let the state decide what its people need. Okay? When you set a standard and you say, it's kind of like in the military, corporal punishment. What's good for one is good for everybody. Okay? You punished a whole lot of them. Okay? I don't think that school districts should fall into something like that. I think each and every school district has its own
bad apples.
Needs, if you will. Do you need more teachers that speak a different language? What is the populace of your state? so on and so forth, as far as who goes to your school. I think that doing school choice for parents is a great thing, because you may be in a school district that is shit. Okay, sorry. And you said, well, wait a minute. This school over here has more kids graduating per capita and more kids going to college per capita. And so I want my kid to go there. And a parent should have that right. Okay. This school board is so freaking woke, and these people got their heads screwed on straight. That's why I want my kid to go over there. I don't want this crap over here. Yeah, you may have to drive them. Okay. Okay. Have a parenting plan put together before you make your choice, because that public school will not bus all the way over from here. It's just the way it is. Now, people do
it's done in our schools now.
Do people here in Oklahoma get away with it? Sure. They'll register their kid living at their sister's house in the school district, and then they'll drive the kid to school every day. But they'll have the kid, they're living with them over there. And some parents will sign a guardianship, so it's legal and binding that they have guardianship over their own kid, because their school district is crap.
Yeah,
it happens. But we need school choice so parents can make their own decisions on their kids and not leave it up to the school board. Because, man, guys, there are some wackadoodles out there making rules up for your kid. You know, I don't want my granddaughter hurt. I want girls' sports to be girls' sports, boys' sports to be boys' sports, and leave it at that.
And male teachers are not allowed in female changing rooms.
So, there's all kinds of reasons why you as a parent, you as a grandparent, should have a say-so in your kid's education. That's just me. Okay. You can cuss me out and say what you want, but come on up here and tell me what you think.
What do you think? I'm up here.
Welcome in. I think it's Kozar Foods. Kozar Foods vlog. Welcome in, my friend. Glad to see you. Yeah. There you go.
They are banning the woke in our schools.
They're banning it?
Yep. Anybody caught with a pride flag now, if they don't take it down, they're getting suspended.
Yeah.
It should never have been allowed.
Didn't you guys just get an immigrant mayor of London?
He's been a bloody mayor of London for years.
Well, that just tells me that you guys are being outvoted. That means you guys have a real problem.
Oh, we've got a real problem, and it's the pricks in charge. Stay calmer, right?
Yeah.
He not only got himself knighted, he decided to knight the mayor of London, who's done absolutely sod all. I'll keep it somewhat civilized. He's done absolutely shit all for London. Knife crime's gone up since he took office. He's been in office over 9 years.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
He's been in office for 9 years. He's in. Anytime somebody says something against him, he turns around and says, Islamophobe.
Yeah. Well, that's the first thing.
Islamophobe. You hate
when you disagree
Islams.
with somebody, they'll find some reason to say you're a phobe about something. Just the way it is.
And now they're trying to get somebody in Parliament who is not only Islamic, he's also in one of the Sharia courts.
Yeah.
We're trying to get them thrown out.
Yeah.
No more Sharia courts in England.
Yeah.
Or in Britain, sorry. We're trying to get them all thrown out.
Have a great day, Evelyn. Thank you for coming in.
That's all right, Mike. You're only 10 minutes behind.
Well, that's all right. No, I'm at the bottom.
Yeah, but she said goodbye 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I do know that our
I
politicians.
do know what the answer is.
Well,
'Cause
I'm just saying that through the woke years, if you will, if I can say it that way, the woke years, politicians have absolutely destroyed countries.
Yes.
Absolutely destroyed.
Liberal politicians have destroyed countries.
Yeah. So those politicians are the ones to blame. I know Germany is in an uproar with all the immigrants that have flooded Germany. And I don't understand. And we're done with the school thing. I don't understand how, okay, look at it this way. You're fleeing one country because life is just an absolute playing hell on in your family, and it's in an uproar, and people are dying, and you're trying to escape that.
So why bring it with you?
Hang on. I know you're going to have your piece on this, and then you move you and your family or yourself to another country. And then when you get to that country, you want to turn that country into the shithole you just left. Why? Why, if you're trying to escape that, why would you come to another country who has customs, has courtesies, has way of doing things, has their own laws, and you want to change everything about it so it looks exactly what you just fled from? That I don't understand. I don't understand that.
That's crazy.
Somebody come up here and enlighten me why that's a good thing.
It's not.
I want them to come. It's okay if they come, but remember, and I see the protest in California and everybody's waving a certain flag and burning the American flag. You came to this country to get away from that, and you bring that stuff here instead of embracing a new way of life, okay? A new way of life that's better than where you were at, and you want to turn it into the same shithole that you left from. I don't understand that. I get upset. This is our country. We have rules. And why politicians are siding with the rule breakers, I got no idea. And they need to be thrown out of office. So midterms coming up, you guys need to say, hey, wait a minute. We got to put an end to this crap. And if you don't, and you elect the same people in there, it's your fault. Sorry. Ugh. Man, I get pissed off. I'm going to have a heart attack here in a second. Oh, it just irks me.
Everybody that comes to our countries, and I say ours as in USA and UK, should all be able to speak one language. English.
There you go.
If you can't speak it, learn it. If you don't want to learn it, piss off.
Well, we couldn't learn English over here in the States, so we made American English.
Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to teach you. But at least we speak similar tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's due to our military background.
All right, Amy, you have a great day.
Take care, Amy. Yeah, but it's a case of everybody that comes here, as soon as they get here, they're given accommodation.
Yeah.
£500 a day hotels for the families. And if they're not in families, they share it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that, Philip. The King's English. The Queen's no longer with us, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But everybody should have
I
to
know
speak English.
when we lived in Korea, we learned that they have like English universities over there where your kid gets out of school and then you can sign them up and pay for them to go to English school. And it's like 4 hours after school of solid English. And we had one right below our apartment complex where we lived. And it was some British people.
That's why their spices are so good.
It was British contractors that ran the school there, and they would hire English teachers and stuff like that, language arts teachers and stuff like that. And they would come there and they would teach in Korea. Well, here's the thing. We found out, I asked the lady, I said, well, how long you've lived here? She goes, I lived here 10 years. And I go, oh, wow. I said, so how do you get away with that? She goes, because I'm contracted, they've made an exception. And she told me that if you immigrate to Korea, okay, you have to take an intensive language course and you have to sign up for it. And then you have to take a Korean test in reading, writing, and speaking. And you have to pass that test. And until you can pass all that stuff and show that you have gotten financial support and you're not a burden on the taxpayers of Korea, you can apply for citizenship. Okay?
Yeah.
If you want to start a business, you have to show 5 years of financial support to run your business, and it cannot conflict with a Korean business if you come in. They make sure of that. You can't own property. You could marry a Korean and all your property is in that Korean's name, but as a foreigner, you can't own property, period. Okay? They make it very clear. And if you need financial support or you close your business, guess what? You're on the next plane out of that country. They don't put up with it. Okay? They take care of their people first. They have the mentality of Korea first. Okay? You will not
Everybody
put
should have that
a
mentality.
Korean out of a job by opening up a business that conflicts with another business that's Korean owned. So,
Hi, Rebecca.
Good morning.
so it's like, a lot of Koreans don't open Mexican restaurants and a lot of people don't open like Turkish restaurants. It's usually Korean food based and stuff like that. So they allow people to come in to bring those type of businesses in because Koreans want it and stuff like that. But here in the States, they just opened up everything and said, we don't care. Here's the turmoil. $660 billion spent. You could use $660 billion in our school systems instead of paying for illegal immigration.
Just take the money from Harvard.
Somehow they found $660 billion.
Yeah.
Why can't you pay our teachers a wage? Why can't you make the schools safer for our teachers and stuff like that? But, I know it says on Lady Liberty, bring us your poor, your disenfranchised and all that stuff that it says on there. but don't come here and turn our America into your shithole. That's all I'm saying. And guys, I apologize, but I am very passionate about this. I want people to immigrate to the States. I don't like it that 21 million people jump the line, not happy about that, while these other people are working their tails off and doing it the right way. So
I've got a quick thing to add to that. If what Mike says offends you, piss off because you're on the wrong channel.
yeah, that's what this is about, real talk. If you read the description, it says, basically beware, this is adult conversation time. Okay? I'm good with it. Come on up
And I
here.
totally agree with that.
If you disagree with me, please come up here and tell me why you disagree.
I don't. I don't disagree.
I think I just scared Rebecca.
No, you didn't.
I will tell you that in my town, okay, we have no less than, and we only got 18,000 people in McAllister, somewhere in that neighborhood. I would say we have 10 Mexican restaurants here in McAllister.
I would love to try
As soon as one shuts down, another one opens.
I would love to find a real Mexican place so I could
Okay.
try their food.
Yeah, we have, and you know what? Growing up in Arizona, the best Mexican restaurant was a purple painted adobe looking house in the middle of nowhere going out towards a place called Queen Creek. And they transferred this old house into a Mexican restaurant. And that is where I went. No ifs, ands, or buts. That was traditional Mexican food, not Tex-Mex, not Arizona Mex or whatever. It was traditional. And then over in Tempe, they have a place called Casa Vieja, which was an upscaled Mexican restaurant. And we went there and I said, well, this has got to be better than that place. No, went right back to that little house when you wanted traditional Mexican food. All this stuff up here, I mean, they have absolutely bastardized Mexican food restaurants. So
I'm on the hunt for one here in where I live.
yeah.
I don't want a Tex-Mex. I want something that is traditional Mexican food.
Well, it's like when I went to Ecuador. And I was eating down there, and you could have seafood, you can have polo, chicken, or you can have this other meat that they had, and you can have pork. And I mean, the average person down there, when I went down there, a man was making $30 a month. That was big time money for them. And a woman was $16 a month. So the food, a setting for 5 people, okay, cost us $16.95 for the entire meal. And that was a woman's monthly wage that we paid for food for 5 people, $16.95. And the US dollar is the currency of Ecuador. They don't have their own money. They use the US dollar. So I went down there on vacation with a friend, and I had about $1,500. I could have probably, rented a place for a year for $1,500. Okay. And I could live down there for a year rent free on that $1,500. Well, the one meat that I couldn't pronounce, I said, well, I want to try everything. I said, man, that is awesome. And he goes, well, the guy told me, he goes, you could get a whole one. We can cook it up and you can take it with you. I said, yeah, absolutely. And he brought it back and I'm looking at it. I said, what the heck is that? And he told me it in whatever, the Hispanic, I guess. And my friend goes, those things that you guys have as pets. I said, what? He goes, you know, those little pig. I said, then I looked at it, I go, that's a freaking guinea pig. They run wild in the jungles down in Ecuador. They hunt them, they trap them, they raise them. And I went out back and they have this gigantic pen with guinea pigs in there. And it's like lobsters. You grab one, you cook it up, and you serve it. I said, what the heck? Well, they take it and they put it in a freezer after they dispatch it, and they let it cure in the coolers, not freezers. And then they take it out of there and they cook it up. But man, it was good. Good. And they don't even strip the hair off it. They let it all burn off on the barbecue grill. I said, what? The more you know.
It's better than the Chinese. They eat dog and cat.
Well, they used to.
Yeah.
And they have in Korea before it's really outlawed and people really don't do it anymore. They did it during the war. There was no food. And they have this dog called a Jindu. And a Jindu is a dog that they actually raise for meat. Okay. Plus, one of the most loyal dogs you'll ever see. If you raise one, you can't give it away. It will not stay. It is absolutely like emotionally glued to whoever raises it. I don't know why, but guys, I mean, and they will fight to the death to protect you. They're called a Jindu. They have a little curly tail, almost like a husky has, and they're just awesome. And they raise those, but there is kegogi, which means dog meat, is basically against the law. But for the older generations, they actually turn their heads to it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Learned a lot over in Korea. And I didn't know it, but Korea used to have tigers. And they killed all them during, over the years for food too. They ate tigers. Now they don't have any.
Quick, Rebecca, while he's quiet.
The only thing they really have abundance of are vampire deer and wild pigs.
I've seen that Hunt and Holler was saying something to me. Just drive by and see where the people are eating. That might be a great idea. And there comes my cat.
I kind of judge a Mexican restaurant when I go by one, how many cars are parked out in front, or any restaurant. It don't matter.
Forget the cars. Listen, do what that one does. Work trucks. Workers will know where the good food is.
Yep. There's one we went to we went up there to Eufaula, to the Mexican restaurant in Eufaula during the meetup. And when I walked in there, when we were scoping out restaurants to go to, I walked in there and all the Mexican workers were eating lunch there. And I said, Terry, we hit the jackpot. Okay. We hit the jackpot because all the Mexican workers were eating lunch there. And it wasn't for the price, it was for the food. And then we went there for dinner, and they had table after table with workers eating. And I just go, man, and the food was awesome. The food was absolutely awesome at that Mexican restaurant. So
you find those places can be a little more expensive.
Yeah.
But it's worth the food.
It's worth it in food. You're right.
I do know of one lunch place that we have. It's Carlitos, and it's more of a smaller type place that we can go and eat and do get real good Mexican food. They just don't do the bigger dishes like I like having a fajita and stuff. So they don't do that, but it's smaller portions and things like that. But oh my gosh, it's so good.
Hey, there's my friend Filipino Raquel. There she is. Absolutely love her. She has a great channel. I've been a member of her channel for, I think, coming up almost on 2 years. Absolutely love her.
Now you know why Terry puts her hairs on your tops.
Yeah,
Look out, ladies.
we were
He's
talking
taken.
earlier. I put on a clean shirt because I was out feeding the animals and stuff, and I said I was pulling hair off my shirt, and man, when you live with a woman with long hair, man, even the dryer can't escape. You know what I mean? Terry just says, "I'm putting my mark on you," so women will know. Hey, oh, he's bald, but he's got these long blonde hairs on his shirt. Yeah. Leela and Layla, hello, my friends.
Wait.
Welcome in.
Well, we know that one of my hairs got to England. Like, oh my goodness.
He's got your DNA.
Yes, he does. I hope he threw it away.
I did.
Oh, don't keep it. Oh,
No, things like that go in the bin.
Yeah. Well, today
wait a minute.
I have to go to
I kept
town.
it for my next murder.
I have to go to
I
town.
kept
I
it for
got
the
to
next
pick
murder.
up gas. The last gas I picked up for the mower, the zero turn, had a bunch of water in there. My mower was backfiring, so I got to go to a different gas station. I'm not going back to that one. I got to do that. I got my grandson coming over today. He's going to spend the weekend with me, and then I think can't remember the day, but I've got to take him to his first football game. He's playing tackle football, and I'm going to be taking him to his first ball game because his mom's got to drive to Dallas to pick up Dad. He's been over in Israel. He's a guy who works for a personal protection service, and he travels all over the world with VIPs and stuff like that. So they're going to spend some time together, and I've got him for the weekend. Mackenzie's down on South Padre Island in Texas on the Gulf of America.
And she looks like she's beaten that battle with the snake.
Yep. And I didn't see no snakes this morning, but we did get a little over a half an inch of rain last night. First rain in the month of any kind of real rain in the month of July was last night on the 31st. And then
Be careful tomorrow then, because the snakes will be back.
Yeah, they'll be back. Humidity will be up, but it's cloudy outside. And it's 74 degrees in Oklahoma where we live.
It's 64, yeah.
And it's already 10 o'clock and it's only 74. Wait till the humidity goes up.
Yeah, well, it's just after 4 o'clock here and 64 degrees.
All right, Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey.
Right.
Have a great weekend also.
And there is Bo's RV Life. Remember, Bo knows RVs. If you've got
God
questions,
knows how long it takes for you to
need an
acknowledge
answer
it here.
from an expert on RVs, Bo's the guy to go to. Check out his channel. All right, so we're going to call it quits for the day. I got some chores I got to do. I got to get ready for my grandson. I probably need to go to the store because I got no kid-friendly food. Remember, we're on keto, and kids hate keto. So I have to go buy stuff.
You know you haven't tried him yet.
And while I'm buying him stuff, I'm thinking I'm going to, pick up some stuff for Big Mike since the warden
Terry
is in South Texas. The keto warden.
I'll have to send Terry a message.
Oh, she's going to be watching this. Trust me.
Yeah, and she's going to get you for your F-bombs.
All right. Hunt and Holler says they've got beautiful weather up in New York. I know you guys had rain. I watched the funeral procession for the police officer that got shot at the NFL building. and they were getting drenched on. So you guys got some cloudy weather up there. Welcome to cloudy weather. Get ready for the humidity. So anyway, guys, hey, remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need. Always, always think of that. Guys, we love you. Thank my guests for coming up. Again, O'Rourke's Littlefield was up earlier. I will see you guys on Monday. So check us out. And remember, Sergeant's Talk TV every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Myself and my battle buddy Jason from White Rock. We put that on. And then Terry will be back for Wednesday's show. And back to the keto diet as soon as she walks in the door. So I better do my eating while she's gone. Last night I had chili cheese dogs. She made me some chili before she left, and I had chili cheese dogs last night. So that was
So
good.
you'll be going out and getting £3 of steak for you and the boy.
That's right. Or I can just take them out to eat. That's how I do my best cooking.
Yeah, when somebody else is doing it.
Yeah. Thank you, Wendy. You have a blessed day too. Shiloh Acres, you have a great day. And I will see you guys on Monday. And you'll see me and my co-host Paul. And who knows what we're going to talk about on Monday. I have no clue. But we'll know once the weekend's over though, right? All right, guys. Love you. God bless you. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
Stay safe, everyone.